In India, abortion is two things at the exact same time. It's a fundamental healthcare right for women, and it's a serious crime that can land you in jail. So, how on earth is that possible? Well, today we're going to dive deep into this incredibly complex and personal issue to really understand the paradox at the heart of India's laws. To really get a sense of the scale of what we're talking about, we're not going to start with laws or politics. We're going to start with just one single staggering number. Okay, here it is, 42,700. What do you think this represents in India? Just take a second. It's not the number of babies born or cars sold. It's something much, much more hidden from view. That's right. An estimated 42,700 abortions happen in India every single day. And here's what's so important to understand. This figure includes all the unrecorded procedures, like medical abortions using pills at home. The official number is way lower, which just tells you how much of this is happening outside of the formal system. So this brings us right back to that central paradox. If that many abortions are happening, how can we even talk about it being a crime? Well, it turns out that in India, the legality of an abortion boils down to one single thing: the reason why. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It really is a tale of two laws. On one side, you've got the MTP Act, which makes medical termination a safe legal right. But on the other side, you've got the PCPNDT Act, which makes it a serious crime to abort a fetus simply because it's a girl. Two laws, two totally different realities existing at the same time. Okay, so to really get our heads around how this works in the real world, we need to break down these two critical pieces of law. They are literally the rule book for this entire conversation. So first up, we have the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, or the MTP Act. Just think of this as the safe abortion law. Its whole purpose is to protect a woman's health and give her a safe, legal way to end a pregnancy for a whole bunch of reasons. And this law is actually pretty progressive, especially after it was updated in 2021. For example, the time limit for an abortion was extended for survivors of sexual assault and for minors. And, really importantly, it now explicitly includes unmarried women and demands total confidentiality. The takeaway? This law is designed to protect women's rights and their health. Now let's flip to the other side of the coin, the PCPNDT Act. This one is the Stop Sex Selection Law, and its mission is incredibly specific. Stop people from misusing medical tech, like ultrasounds, for one reason and one reason only: to find out if a fetus is female and then abort it. And this law is crystal clear about what's illegal. You cannot determine the sex, you can't tell the parents the sex, you can't even advertise that you could do it. See, this law isn't trying to stop all abortions, it's laser focused on stopping one very specific type of abortion that's driven by gender bias. And they are not messing around with the penalties for anyone involved. Just look at this. A doctor's first offense gets them jail time and their license suspended. For parents, it's jail and a really big fine. The law is designed to be a huge deterrent, sending the message loud and clear that this is a serious crime. So those are the laws on paper, but what does all of this actually look like on the ground? Well, for that, we have to look at the states, because that's where the real battle is happening. Okay, so this chart shows the states with the highest number of recorded legal abortions. Maharashtra is at the top. But check out Telangana. It saw a massive 917% surge. Now that sounds pretty alarming, right? But here's the twist. It doesn't mean more abortions are happening. It actually means more are being done safely, officially, and getting counted, which is a great sign that the MTP Act is working. But here is the million-dollar question. Just because more legal abortions are being reported, does that mean the illegal practice of sex selection has just disappeared? Not even close. The real report card for female feticide is something called the sex ratio at birth, or SRB. That's how many girls are born for every 1,000 boys. And the data shows a really mixed bag across India. Kerala is a leader here. Haryana, which used to be one of the worst, is actually improving because they're cracking down hard. But then you see a place like Goa, and those numbers are a huge cause for concern. So if punishment alone isn't solving the problem, what else can you do? Well, the government's other big strategy is to go after the root cause, this societal idea that daughters are an economic burden. And they're tackling it with cold, hard cash. Just look at some of these schemes. In Uttar Pradesh, you've got a program giving families money in stages for a girl's education. In Maharashtra, they deposit a lump sum right after she's born. The goal here is pretty simple, right? It's to financially incentivize families to not just have daughters, but to educate them and empower them, completely changing the economic equation. Okay,
So we've got laws, punishments, and financial incentives. But there are still gaps in the system, and that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. What's the plan moving forward?
The strategy has a few key parts. It involves cracking down even harder on illegal clinics, but also, and this is key, improving access to contraception so you have fewer unintended pregnancies to begin with. There's also a huge focus on tracking abortion pills to make sure they're not being misused and making it easier for everyday people to anonymously report crime. And, this might be one of the most powerful and telling parts of the entire legal framework. Right there in the PCPNDT Act, the law itself presumes the woman was forced into it, and it puts the legal blame on her family. That is a profound statement. It's the law admitting that women are often not the ones making the choice, but are actually victims of incredible social and family pressure. So, India has laws to protect a woman's right to choose, and other laws to punish the crime of choosing based on gender. It has schemes to make daughters feel like an asset, not a liability. But the final question is still hanging in the air, and it's something for all of us to really think about. Can laws and money ever be enough to truly change a mindset that's been around for generations?